Alright guys, welcome back to another retro game survival guide video. This video kind of ties into the last video on how to spot a fake game, but this goes more into the depths of buying things online. Now, the reason I thought of this video was I was having a discussion with my coworker who actually saw the fake video game video I did and how to spot it. She told me that her and her boyfriend once ordered an Atari lot online a few years ago, and when they got it in the mail, most of the Atari games were actually fake. Now, what I mean by this is they weren't fake as in being completely bootlegged like that Earthbound cart. They were fake because someone had stripped out all of the boards of the games and just inserted cardboard so they'd have weight, I guess. So they were just the shell. Basically, they got scammed into buying a bunch of empty shells that someone had cannibalized these Atari games. And if the Atari worked, I didn't even ask because I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, this stuff happens so often to people that are just not in the know when it comes to retro video game collecting and the market. So, in this video, I want to discuss with you not only fake games, but I want to discuss with you how to spot suspicious ads when buying things on eBay or Amazon or Craigslist, and what to do when you come across these sort of situations. There are a lot of bad people out there. I shouldn't have to tell people this at this point, but there are a lot of scammers, there are a lot of bad resellers, and there's just people that are out to rip you off any chance they get. That one phrase is, there's a sucker born every minute. And for some reason, there are people out there that will take advantage of that. And I'm not saying if you've bought a fake game before, such as my coworker, without knowing that you're an idiot, because how would you know? You know, your last thing you probably played a video game was when you were, you know, when you're in elementary school, probably when you were like 9 years old or something like that. And now you're 30 something and you're like, man, you know what, I kind of want to play Atari or Super Nintendo again. And you go online, you buy these games not knowing anything about what's going on with retro video games. It's completely understandable. There are hundreds and hundreds of stories out there like that, I'm sure. Some of you watching this video right now are probably in that boat. You've seen some sort of video on retro video games. You're like, oh man, I remember Super Nintendo. I remember Super Mario Kart. Let me go get that game. I want to play it. And you go out and you buy it. For many people, they don't know that there are actually fake games and that there's people that just produce bullshit and send it to people and steal their money. Now, something to look for online when you're buying a higher priced item game. Say you're buying Earthbound like I showed you in the past video, the fake Earthbound. If you're buying from eBay, if you're buying from Amazon or Craigslist, there should be a description in the actual ad stating that this is a genuine product. This is not a reproduction cart. This is not a bootleg. This needs to have pictures of all sides of the game cart so you know what you're getting. There's not fucking handwriting all over the sides of it or all over the back of it or a ripped off label and you're just going off of an ad description. You need to have pictures of everything. And above all, and this is key for everyone out there that doesn't know about this, there needs to be pictures showing the game open and the board back and front to verify that this is a real, in fact, game. This is not a reproduction game that came from China like you saw in my last video. And if you want to know what real boards look like, they've all been well documented online. Any game that you go to research, Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Demon's Crest, whatever, there should be a board picture, a genuine board picture on an official website like Nintendo Age or something like that, showing what a board should look like. Now, this also goes when it comes to Craigslist. You say you're buying a game off Craigslist. You're meeting up with someone to go pick up the game. Make sure, even if you saw the pictures online, make sure that you bring a bit driver with you or ask if they have one, but most of the time you should have a bit driver with you when picking up games. Open up that cart. It doesn't matter if this offends them or not. If it's someone that's reselling video games, that is in the know, they shouldn't be offended by that. They should be very well in much favor of that to protect them and to protect you. So when you open up these games, you verify that this board is real, especially when you're in person. There's no excuse to buy a fake game from somebody that you're meeting up with in person. Now, eBay. eBay's a little different. This is why I suggest everyone, this is kind of an off note, but I suggest everyone when they're buying stuff off eBay or Amazon to always do things through PayPal. Never do things through just your credit card company or your bank, because once you do those sort of things, it's a lot harder to get refunded your money if you end up getting scammed. PayPal will refund you and protect you with every purchase you make. And this isn't a shout out or an ad for PayPal. This is just something that should be talked about a little more. PayPal protects you. I have received a fake Game Boy Advance game before for Metroid Fusion when I bought it probably 5 or 6 years ago. I just wanted to play Metroid Fusion. I went online, I bought it, and it was not listed that it was a reproduction. It was not listed as fake. It came in the mail, and the thing fucking disintegrated in my hand as soon as I opened it. It's not a joke. I literally went to put the game in, and the game fell apart. And not only did it fall apart, the board looked like it was a black backing. It looked really strange. So I went online and I did my research, and lo and behold, I got scammed on a Game Boy Advance game. I went to eBay. eBay takes a lot longer, but when you go to PayPal makes sure they refund you right away. They start some sort of open case with that person and their account. Boom. There you go. And another thing you got to look out for with a lot of eBay accounts is the people that, if they don't have pictures of boards for their games that they're selling online, you should just stay away from them in general. But also notice if they have no refunds on their listings. And also, this is probably the biggest key that you can look for besides the pictures of the boards. Look at that person's eBay ranking. There's a little thing above their name. If you don't know, if you've never used eBay, I don't know how you've not used eBay, but some people haven't. There is a ranking above their name with a star and a number. You click on that and you're going to be able to see all their feedback, all their positive, neutral, and negative feedback. And if you're seeing someone that has little to zero feedback, but they're selling like 20 of the rarest of rare video games, probably a scam account, and there are a lot out there. Another thing to look for, if they have 20 to 30 listings, but yet they have like 200 negative fucking comments on their seller page, probably should stay away. Read what the negative comments were, and most of the time you're going to see fake cart, seller never returned my message, seller denied a refund, had to go through eBay. You have to look at these things. There are a lot of these things out there. Amazon is a lot weird. Amazon is very weird when it comes to buying games. I've seen games as common as Super Mario Brothers, a loose cart, mind you, listed for $3,000. I'm not joking with you. I'm sure I'll find one and I'll insert it in this video, but there are really weird things listed on Amazon. I don't ever buy my games through Amazon. I always go through eBay, or I go physically actually looking for the things. But I'm telling you, eBay is a lot easier to navigate, and it's a lot easier to know where your games are coming from. eBay or Amazon, I don't have that much experience with, except for buying, random Christmas presents for people in December. But as far as buying retro video games is concerned, the same rules should apply. There should be pictures of everything of the game, front, back, the board, and there also should be some sort of ranking system on this person's seller's page. So make sure to take these things into account. It's very important. A lot of people get scammed and ripped off all the time online, and most of the time they're people getting, they're brand new people coming into getting back into retro video games, or they're not even trying to get like this hardcore into retro video game buying. They just want to buy a Super Nintendo. They just want to buy an Atari. They want to play it for a few months, and probably it's going to end up back in their closet again. And they're not going to touch it for like another 5 or 6 years, or only bring it out when their friends come over or something like that. But these people would not expect to be purchasing a product knowing that there's hundreds of counterfeits out there, as well as people that cannibalize games and send empty shells. These are things that people that are not in the know when it comes to this niche of a market are going to know right off the top of their head. Why would you know that? Why would you think, if you're getting right back into it, that there's going to be some sort of scam artists out there that are going to try to rip you off for something as small as this? So anyway, guys, this is just another quick tip video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. You guys seem to be enjoying these little tip videos. If you have any more suggestions of what you want me to talk about and get more detail into, let me know in the comments, and I will see you later. Have a good weekend. And just on a side note, before I end this video, anyone that's gonna say buyer beware when you're buying stuff online and you get ripped off, that's your fucking fault. You know what? Go fuck yourself. I think that there's such a mentality when it comes to the retro video game club that there are people out there that think, well, you got ripped off? Well, haha, you deserve to get ripped off because you didn't know. You didn't look at the pictures. You didn't do this. Like I said, there are so many brand new people coming into this, especially since it's become so popular in the last 5 years. They don't deserve to be ripped off. People don't deserve to get scammed out of their money, especially if they're newcomers. People don't deserve to get scammed out of their money in general. But there are people out there like, well, buyer beware. Even though the ad didn't say reproduction cart, you should have known by looking at the ad, you fucking retard. No, that's not how it's supposed to go, and fuck anybody that thinks like that. Anyway, guys, I had to say that. Have a good night.